The Copper Age update is here! Anyways, today I am returning to the dwarven city of Tuffall in my hardcore Minecraft world. I want to build a huge copper mine carved into this side of the mountain. Okay, and maybe rebuilding the entire mountain just potentially to make the mine fit a little bit better. This is just a teeny tiny little itty bitty project, so let's do it. I know I just said that I'm building a mountain today, but first we need to dig as well. All of my tools are pretty busted, so I've got to fix all these pickaxes. Reason being is that I have in the background been working on removing one of the mountains along the custom river I built connecting path out to the ocean. This was always part of the plan, but man, it is a big dig, so I am slowly tackling it when I feel up to digging for a few hours. So for the third time, I needed to take a trip into the nether so that I can repair up all of these pickaxes at the Wither Skeleton farm to get digging again. But thankfully, that didn't take too long to get everything wrapped up, so we can head on out of the nether. And flying back into the overworld, ooh, okay, right, yeah, we're fine. I need to grab myself quite a few empty sugar boxes that I really hope that's enough. Oh, Chicken Chuggy! Oh my god, we got the music disc! Where did you come from? Wait a second one! How did that... Okay, I'd like to not be on fire now. Sweet, 2 lava chicken discs right there. Oh my gosh, that's lovely. What are the chances I go from 0 to 2? I found a ton of extra shulker boxes that we can use here, so it's time to get to work on digging out a good chunk of this mountain. As always with mountain clearing, the first step is to set up a beacon with haste 2. And while you can all see me digging out the terrain with this beautiful scenic style, I get to stare at this purple mess as I have planned out this in creative before to save myself some time, so I need to clear all of the red and purple that aren't needed in the schematic. But back to the nice view here, you can see me carving out the edge of the mountain in order to get the shape that I need. This is a way to save myself a ton of time. Instead of mass clearing out the interior and then flattening everything, we're basically going to build the new mountain over the top of the original one to keep it as solid as we can to also help prevent a giant mob spawner on the inside. This is kind of cool to see all of the shapes carved out already for where our mine entrance is gonna go. And thankfully, during that process, I was able to get all of the stone that I should need for rebuilding a good portion of the mountain. I did also get a ton of grass too, but I used a lot of that already to place back into the terrain to clear out some shulker boxes as I need to fill them up later. And I figured, why not? I've already got all this stuff on me. I know where it's gonna go. I might as well place it in. It is all currently floating, but you can kind of start to see the shape of where our mountain is going to come down the edge, which is super fun. I do have to dig that cave going farther back eventually to clear out for our mine itself, but for now, I think I can just get rid of the beacon. We'll set it up again later when we need it. Now with this beautiful landscape here in the dwarven city, it's time to go gather materials. I want to start showing more of how I design things in these videos, so we'll get to that in a bit. But first we need to create the thing, and that requires well over 20,000 blocks for the mountains alone. Woo! So at my starter house, I first need to turn on the pale moss farm so that I can produce a ton of that stuff. Then to stay in the area and keep it loaded, I jump down into the mines. As always, I need an absolute ton of tuff and deep slate, so I kept my usual pattern of digging a tunnel every 3 blocks, and if I see any blobs of tuff, I would start to break away from my tunnel digging and clear out the entire blob as I want as much of it as I can possibly get, and then the deep slate is pretty nice too. This turned out to be just about enough time to get all of the pale moss I needed too, so there's 3 items off of the list already finished up. To quickly tackle a few more of them, I jumped into the quarry. As from all of my mountain digging, I have a good supply of andesite and diorite ready to go. From there, I need a load of gray dye, though, on top of it, so we're flying out to the flower farms to get it, which means putting some bone meal in the Azure Bluette farm in order to get it working before slowly backing away before my ears bleed. Safely back in the quiet city, I need over 1,200 light gray concrete powder, so I crafted all of that down next. As this is a huge chunk of everything that I need and my inventory was becoming pretty full of filled up shulker boxes, I decided to drop them all off back at the build site, before taking a trip to the far side of the world as I need terracotta, setting up a baby beacon as I only need haste 1 to instant mine here, we can crawl through and speedily mine up the light gray terracotta like a little goblin, running back and forth digging up everything that I can, which filled up about a shulker box pretty quickly so we can head on home for one last item. And for this one, I need to build a pretty simple farm as I need so much snow. More specifically, I need 17,000 snow layers in order to decorate the top of this mountain, which I am starting to regret that decision, but here we are nonetheless as I fumbled my way through building up a snow farm of my very own design, trapping 4 snow golems in the center of a 2x2 area with iron bars on top of full blocks, which constantly spawns in layers every time they move a little bit. A few hopper minecarts feeding into hoppers below, and we have a functional snow farm here that quickly eats through shovel durability and should also solve all of my snow problems in the future. That is, as long as I don't accidentally break my shovels. This time I was careful and was able to gather 8 shulker boxes of snow layers without any incidents. I technically do need another 5 shulkers of snow layers, but I just want to get building, so I brought what I have back over here to get started. Except I thought we should probably repair everything up a bit, so down into the Wither Skeleton farm we go for another round of super fun roller coaster action to speedily repair everything. And there we go, time to build a mountain with my massive line of shulker boxes ready to go. Okay, quick distraction before we, get into building up the mountain. I just remembered something really important I've been meaning to do out here. If you didn't know, this is a creeper farm into a rocket factory with a sugarcane farm on top. And well, there is a massive cave in the middle of this mountain that I just have never lit up that is stopping the farm from working at all. And that's the reason why I don't have any rockets in here. So I keep seeing it when I don't have torches, and I finally have a ton of them, so we can fix this. That wasn't the cave. I believe, yep, this is the entrance to the cave. Children, no, not the children. Yep, this is where all the mobs were. Okay, I'm starting to see why there's a problem. So that little itty bitty cave that I found that I needed to light up, well, that turned into a really, really big cave. And here goes my last few torches. Probably can move that over there. Because I went to sit at the farm and yeah, still no gunpowder. And then I found this whole mess that I apparently missed, but I have no more torches. Right, side project is hopefully now done so we can get onto the mountain, but has this produced a single rocket? Oh boy. And we even have extra gunpowder in it. Oh, wow. This thing is it's ramping up now. I mean, just look at that creeper farm. That's a nice creeper farm. Yeah, let's just move on to the mountain that I know what I'm doing over there. I've been doing a lot of practice in creative mode recently, trying to learn how to more effectively build mountains in my Minecraft world. And I found a style that I really enjoy and want to eventually bring around Path and all of Tough Hall. But as you can see, these require a lot of blocks and time to place it all in, as this took just over 4 hours of block placing here to get this stage completed, which looks absolutely awesome if you ignore the fact that there is no snow anywhere on this mountain. I have streamed a ton of the designing process here on my channel, but for a quick rundown, here you go. You're going to want to use Axiom for this one, and first thing you need to do here is grab a concrete block, mask whatever surface you're gonna be building out of. Go to the elevation tool, set your radius pretty high, set to raise, and get a height map. You can get a bunch of these in the Axiom Discord. You'll notice if you just crank up the rate, we'll get something really dramatic here, and then you just kind of move around until you get something you like. You're gonna end up with a bunch of these weird dips in here. So change from raise to flatten up. Go right inside of this, maybe bring your radius down a touch, and then just pick a higher point, and then you can kind of just fill those in and mess around with it from there. From here, you've got a decent result. Then you want to go into your smooth tool, click on grow, and just start going around a few of these points. Grow makes it so you don't get rid of anything, you're only adding things to smooth it out. From here, we're going to go to our painter tool, we're going to grab our green wool, and then you want to use a brush that's like this. So what we're looking at is blocks that equal the one that we built out of. We're looking at an angle, so it's going to go for flatter angles here. Basically, we're looking for the angle of 67 degrees, and then we're going up or down 22. So that goes up to 89 and down to 45. Yeah, that's what we want. And then we're going to paint that all with our green. And that is how you get all of your grassy areas. From here, you want to select all of your purple concrete. Go up to Operations, Auto Shade. Change the top to Custom Positions. Change this to Custom. Now, I personally like to set it like something like this with black, gray, light gray, and white concretes. And then we need to just go around it, put in our positions like this. And then you just click auto shade. And there you go. In a few minutes, you've got a mountain. You obviously got to smooth it out from here, but it's a good start. I did forget to say that you then mask each concrete color and replace it with the blocks that you actually want in your mountain, but you're all smart cookies. I'm sure you already knew that. But now before we can get to the gate part, I need to go through and place in all of these snow blocks and all of the snow layers to cover the entire mountain. And I'm going to start with snow blocks here, as I have to place these first and then the layers on top of them. Going through another quick hour of snow block placing to fill in the complete shape, which normally this would be where I stop on the mountain detailing as it looks good. And then I found this button in Axiom, the smooth snow operation. So back in the super flat world, we have our mountain, and then I replaced a lot of the green wool with our snow, and we have a snow layer on top of that. Then we can make a huge box over here to grab all of the snow layers that we are masking for. With all of those selected, you just click smooth snow. And look at what that does. It's beautiful. What's not beautiful is that led to me collecting all of these shulker boxes here full of snow layers. As now I need to go back through where I had all of those things in and add all of the layers in here. Oh, this is gonna take a bit. Just starting off this time lapse by saying, don't do this. Save yourself the pain of placing in thousands of snow layers. Just do the snow blocks, because oh my gosh, placing in the snow layers took longer than building the entire mountain for everything else that I've already done to build up the rest of this place. Maybe even including the time it took to get the resources together. But here it is. The mountain backdrop for the copper mine is now completed. And from down here, you can barely even tell there's snow layers on top. I might have even forgot some right there. But yeah, that is the background element for today's build. Okay, time to get working on the actual project for today's episode. Oh boy. I will say though, being up here, it does look really, really good. It does look good. I will admit it does look good. It's just pain. It's so much pain in order to make this. Good news is I have all of the empty shulker boxes that I could ever need for this next stage of the project, so we could just pick up all of these and get back to work on gathering more blocks. Making the rounds again first with the villager trading cave to get some more emeralds for dripstone blocks. Then into the quarry. As you probably guessed, I need some more tough and deep slate for the build. For the flooring around the mine, I like to use packed mud to contrast against the stone, so I'm pretty much using all of the remaining mud that I had in my storage. Then the big ticket item here, copper for the copper mine, because how else will we know that it's a copper mine without a ton of copper built into the structure? Oh, and some resin needed to be crafted too. Then filling out the bingo sheet, we are in the lumber mill to strip some logs. And finally, we have everything that we need for the build so we can get to work on the mine. Or not, as I completely forgot with my mountain building that I need to plant a field. It's pretty amazing to think that this is episode 105 of the Hardcore series. We've been in this world for over 4 years, and I don't think I've ever forgotten to plant a field. And even with that, I have planted multiple fields in some of the episodes. So in this world, we're probably close to 150 different fields of crops by now, which I just thought was a cool number to share. 2 million is also a cool number that we could share if you subscribe, just saying. But here's probably beetroot field 10 or something like that. Happy Gas flying on top and looking so cute. Not sure how he got off of his lead over there, but he did, and he's still sticking around in the area. But I left this little empty space between the fields, and I also didn't realize there's beetroot there and there's beetroot there. And there's an Enderman there. Hi, buddy. Yeah, hi. Are we angry now? Oh, we're so angies. Oh, we're kind of angies from a distance, though. That's fine. But this could be like a cool little place for a patch of trees lining the field or something like that. I don't really know. Oh, I didn't break anything. Oh, that's so good. I never really use ender pearls. These are kind of a cool feature. Oh well. Getting right on the build, I want to first fill in the floor area with the packed mud, coarse dirt, and rooted dirt to make it look more like a work area. Now, I've taken a lot of themes for this guy from the resin mine on the far side of the mountain. Starting with in here, I want to use a bunch of copper for our entryway, and then we're also going to be using a bunch of tuff for a lot of framing as we're moving throughout. As the goal here is to create a really big archway, which is going to start with all of this tuff right in here first, and then behind that, I want to work on our copper, which is mostly just going to be a decorative one, showing a little bit of our exposed copper in it to look like it's really kind of like broken and aged down. A few trapdoors and stairs to smooth it all out. I really love that triangular but like flattened top archway that we're getting here for the dwarven vibes. Surrounding the main entrance, I really wanted a large structure to give that grand and imposing vibe you see in a lot of dwarven architecture. It's very brutalist inspired, but I really tried to soften it here with a lot more curves instead of straight lines and bringing in a lot of windows and things to it. This definitely isn't finished yet, but I like the middle structure we have so far. The hallway not being dug out is really bugging me, but I'm going to do that later as there's a few more important things to get done. I also really love these big fire braziers we have on the sides. Again, trying to really avoid using lamps and lanterns wherever I can around here. I want to go for more of the fire vibes in this land. And then up here, I had the idea every 2 blocks that I want to bring some pipes like sticking out of the wall. And I was looking online and I saw a few people do this idea where you incorporate a decorative pot into it, where surprisingly, it actually works pretty well with the acacia. So we're just gonna do a little like right here, here, and here, or some stairs in to get the curve, and then we'll just throw some more trapdoors around this. But taking a step back, and that actually looks pretty cool for a pipe. And I'm using the I see you over there mod, so these guys render in from really far away now. Unfortunately, those guys render in too. Yeah, I see you. Off to the right side, I am repurposing one of the details from the main keep to give this a cool rounded shape. You can see it right over there. I changed up the texturing a little bit, but I really like how it's come together and it keeps the theme consistent across multiple buildings. I've also used the little honeycomb trim right in here around the doorway, and then up on top you can see a little bit of smoke poofing out. As I've done a little bit of detailing in here underneath the magma blocks, we have campfires, and then if we cover them with the trapdoors, it makes it much less likely for the smoke to actually come out, which I think is a really, really cool detail. But everything else up here is glow lichened, so it should be spawn proof for the most part. And also, does this hurt? Oh yeah, it does. Wow, never knew that. We've got our doors installed that don't go to anywhere currently as they're just full blocks, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this side has come together. Before we get over to that side, however, I need to go back up the mountain as I have these 3 openings. We have that one, and a third right here that I want to build some chimneys coming up to get the bad air out of the mines to help keep our dwarven miners safe. We've got soul campfires with hay bales underneath all 3 of these, and it is looking pretty cool. I wanted to give them a really big presence up here, so they're pretty tall and they're very much contrasting against the side, and we got a little resin in there as like a marker for the top of it. Just forgot to fly, just in case, you know, somebody's in like a gyrocopter or something flying over. Who knows if those are in the lore or not, haven't figured that part out yet, but I just wanted them to be tall enough so from down here you can still see that there's chimneys or something up there. Just all of the smoke and whatever from inside the mines is just being pushed out the top of the mountain. This is why we needed the solar punk village before this, so that we can balance out, you know, how much gross stuff we're throwing up into the atmosphere. But it's a Minecraft, so it's fine. The last addition for the main structure today is going to be to the left side with a slightly shorter tower, but still taller than the middle, but not quite reaching the height of the right side, as I really wanted to push that asymmetry here and give it a lot more presence. And for another reason we'll get to in a moment, but first I've got to fill in our last windows as we just need to get the orange glass. I think it gives a much better glow over the top of the frog lights than we'd have otherwise. But there it is. Oh, it's looking really, really cool. We got the smokestacks up on the top there with even more smoke coming out of the top then with the same campfire trick. The real reason I wanted that tower to be shorter is that you can see these multiple lines all coming in from the mountain peaks to the roofs of the buildings to even the bottom of the buildings, even down to the road and retaining wall itself, all leading towards the main structure in the background. I just thought was a really, really cool vibe to set up for a thumbnail, so I just kind of went with that, you know. Looks really good. Before we can call this complete, I have a hole to dig. Okay, well, the start of a hole, the mine entrance is gonna go in through here. That's currently just a big flat wall. But hey, look at that, a distraction of an extra building over here. Yeah, look away from the mine. Let's look far, far away as I'm working on this guy, and I need these things right here. I thought it'd be kind of cool. I've done this before over on the cleric building in order to bring in some extra light. Just creating some kind of light pole right here where we can use our acacia buttons that I do want to leave quite a few of these actually on here for decoration, but we can do that. and pop them off, as we don't need a constant power source for the bulbs, and then we just get something like this sticking out. But this is something where I'm envisioning all of the copper pulled out of our great mine over there would come into this building off these little tracks that we need to build, would get crushed down inside, or at least somehow combined into something that can get deposited or whatever into a non-existent wagon right here. But on the inside, I've set up a little something with acacia in here that's very temporary, as I really like the idea of minecarts moving around in here. So I think we can just do something like this, and that'll stretch all the way around. And if we need to add an extra power rail, we can, but this way minecarts can just come in, bounce off this back wall, and just keep moving. And they're different lengths, so it should desync them too, which would be cool, because I want two separate ones moving. I've got our rough tracks out of acacia reaching all the way up here now, where we're now inside the mine. Originally, I was using these pillars to bring it all up. And then inside of here, you might remember this from Hardcore Season 2, but I did these raised tracks using acacia in my villager trading hall, of all things, back then. And I kind of wanted to do that idea again here, because I just remember it being really cool seeing things moving around above me. So I want to do that again with some minecarts. Realized that I was missing a deep slate tile back over here. And if I don't fix this now, I'm never going to. Real quick, just gonna make ourselves two minecarts with chests in them. And I've got some power rails placed in here, and then we should just need to take some regular rails, being careful to shift place them all so I don't break anything in here. That should connect the first line up. And there goes our second line. So if we put this guy on, he'll go up that way, and we got that one, and we got two minecarts moving on the track, and we should hopefully see them go inside this little building. And then they're coming back out the building. Amazing. Oh, no, I'm not very good at Frogger. I'm really trying to use a lot of movement in Tough Hall here with our different smoke chimneys going out. We got our minecarts moving around. And I can't wait to get some copper golems out here also moving around. But this just feels like it completes the atmosphere of they're definitely bringing copper out of the mines, not just bouncing off the wall back there. Yep, that's the true vibe. I really gotta dig that mine out, don't I? That's gonna be for a future fWhip, as the entrance to our copper mine is complete. I am super excited for all the copper blocks coming in the Copper Age update, and my plan is to turn this into a new copper storage room, hopefully using our copper golem friends to sort all of the copper, which wouldn't be weird, right? Anyways, if you have any ideas on how I can pull that off, let me know down in the comments below. Click the like button if you haven't already yet, as it helps me out a ton, and subscribe. Why not? It'd be cool. Anyways, I'll catch y'all on the fWhip side.